got him because we launched out of Afghanistan, sent our SEAL team into Pakistan and took down Bin Laden. But Afghanistan is the place in which we monitor what's going on next door in Pakistan. Why do we care? Well, we care because there's a very large population of Islamist and considerable jihadi activity inside Pakistan. Big country, about 80 million people. They've got a nuclear inventory of somewhere between 50 and 100 weapons. So for us to say, well, we're going to leave Afghanistan and pull all our forces out, aren't going to be any American military in Afghanistan after 2016, that, my friend, is stupid policy. And it almost guarantees that the problem is going to continue to spread and expand. So the United States has to be involved in that part of the world. It's foolish to think we can just come home and ignore it and everything will be fine. Just remember 9/11. Remember where that came from. And remember what we had to do to end that threat. But following Obama's course of action would be absolutely devastating for our national security. Sorry for the long answer, but you touched on it. There's a question out here.
Oh, geez. I don't want to bore everybody. I went to Pakistan. The Kennedys asked me to go there in 1991 to teach teachers of special students soccer and basketball and track and field. And it was a beautiful country. Nobody bothered me. They helped me. The head man, the big shipping guy, treated me. And then what the heck happened with our relationship with Pakistan? Why they went so bad?
Well, I've been there a fair amount over the years. I dealt with Musharraf, who was the president. Most recently, he's out now. But he was a pretty good friend and ally. When 9/11 occurred, we went to them and said, look, are you with us or against us? And they said, we're with you. But you had the development, if you go back to the first time I was in Pakistan, was in about '87, when I was a member of the House Intelligence Committee, and we were running a covert action program in Afghanistan, supplying the Afghan Mujahideen with weapons, especially Stinger, shoulder-fired anti-air missiles, to take on the Soviets. The Soviets would then occupy Afghanistan, and we were successful. But the Pakistan Prime Minister at the time was a man named Zia. A couple of years after I met him, when I was over there in '87, his plane went down under suspicious circumstances. The U.S. ambassador was on board as well. He was killed. And there's been a drift in Pakistan, partly through the madrasas. These are religious-oriented schools, funded lots of times from outside Pakistan, but who basically have trained thousands and thousands of students through their school system in the fundamental view of Islam, Sharia law, and so forth. I think that's had an impact. You've got in Pakistan groups like the Haqqani Network. It's tribal-based, but it's very closely wired with the Taliban, the more radical element in Pakistan, and has ties back and forth across the border into Afghanistan. And there's been this development in a lot of places in the Middle East over the course of the last 25 or 30 years, of ever-increasing number of jihadists, of fundamentalist Islamist radicals who believe the highest goal they can achieve is to die for Allah, to be martyrs and go straight to paradise. And it's enough of a problem now that we used to worry about the Pakistani service when we were working with them about the extent to which, for example, their intelligence service was friendly. And frankly, we find evidence that they were working both sides of the street. An awful lot of our supplies for our troops in Afghanistan go through Pakistan by truck. We land in the ports down there in the Persian Gulf and ship materials, food, ammunition, and so forth to our guys in Afghanistan. And periodically, those roads have been closed when there have been controversy developed of one kind or another. Our trucks back up at the Khyber Pass and can't get across, and they've used it as leverage. We have to find other ways lots of times to get it in. But there's been a radical shift throughout the Middle East. It's not just Pakistan. One of the mistakes we made was was when they first set off first nuclear test, we immediately halted the relationship between the U.S. military and the Pakistani military. That had been a very important relationship. Had a similar relationship with the military in Egypt. They'd send their people over here to train. We'd show them America, develop relationships between our military and their military. Very, very important and a source of stability. But in this particular case, because the law that was on the books, the government cut off the military-to-military relationship because they did set off that first nuclear device. And it soiled or spoiled the relationship to some extent. Pakistan's a very important country, and as I look at the current situation, set of circumstances today, I'm probably more concerned about what may or may not happen in Pakistan, because there you do have the combination of terrorists and nukes, and that's potentially devastating for us. Yes, back here.
Right here, Mr.
Okay, there's the